welcome everyone to 284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com. In today's news, Seventh-day Adventist School Student tests positive for COVID-19. School to return to virtual learning effective immediately.
And McMaster claims bronze in the Diamond League final, his second podium finish since the Olympics.
We also see the Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, distributing masks to students in an effort to safeguard health in the territory.
And government signs $400,000 contract with telecoms company to have CCTV infrastructure restored and cameras to increase crime detection in the BVI. Along with paying in person for the new online work permit application makes no sense. With plans to address payment process, says Minister responsible Vincent Wheatley. We get to these stories when 284 News returns.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Friday, September 10th, 2021. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And my name is Javon Wilson. A fantastic Friday it is here in the beautiful British Virgin Islands, and we're so happy that you can join us for another edition of 284 News. Now, topping our summary, we see the Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, stopping by at a few of the schools, beginning with the Willard Wheatley Primary School just yesterday to donate much-needed masks to our students. Now, our newsroom was able to catch up with the minister earlier today. Listening.
As we know, our children have returned to face-to-face learning. And of course, we have to be vigilant about protecting our children from COVID-19. So mask wearing is absolutely essential. So the Ministry of Education has decided to provide some amount of masks for our schools, which would have the school logo on the masks. And this would help some of those students who come to school without their mask. The students are still required to bring their mask to school, but some students who may not have a mask or may not have a clean mask will be able to be provided with a reusable mask that can be washed. And certainly we ask for the children and their parents to respect these masks, to make sure that they're clean and tidy, and to make sure that the children come to school in their mask every day.
And now, viewers, we turn to some troubling updates across the territory. Students of the Seventh-day Adventist School will return to virtual school as of today, September 10th, following a confirmed coronavirus case at the institution just yesterday. Now, our newsroom has confirmed that a student tested positive for the virus based on a circular that was sent out by the school. The circular said, and I quote, "It is therefore unfortunate that I must inform you that one of our high school students have tested positive for COVID-19. As a result, the school's protocols measures have been activated in consultation with the public health authorities. You are hereby advised that effective Friday, the 10th of September 2021, the institution will conduct classes virtually until further notice." End of quote. Now, viewers, when contacted by our newsroom, the Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, said he was made aware of the situation. Dr. Wheatley said, and I quote, "I learned of the confirmation of a positive case at the Seventh-day Adventist School yesterday. I wish the student a full recovery from this virus. I also applaud decisive action by the school in collaboration with the public health authorities to ensure the virus is not allowed to spread. In the COVID-19 era, this is to be expected. This is why strict adherence to the mask wearing, social distancing, and sanitization protocols is vital to the safety of our children. and society, Honorable Wheatley added. Now, viewers, the overseeing minister reiterated the need for persons to get inoculated against the virus to prevent further loss of life. Honorable Wheatley said, and I quote once again, unvaccinated parents and teachers must also strongly consider vaccination. Parents must also seriously contemplate whether their children who qualify should also make good use of the arrangement with the USVI for vaccinating those between the ages of 12 years old to 17 years old. We do not want to lose another life to COVID-19, end of quote. Now, viewers, the acting chief medical officer, Dr. Ronald Georges, said active tracing has already begun and all contacts will be quarantined and tested in 10 days. When questioned by our newsroom on the contingency plan that is activated in the event that a student or staff tests positive at a school locally and what justifies the closures of schools, the acting CMO said it is done on a case-by-case basis. Now, in this case, the decision to close the school was made by the management of the Seventh-day Adventist School. Now, just yesterday, 2 schools in the U.S. Virgin Islands were forced to close doors due to coronavirus exposure at both institutions. As a result, the Pearl B. Lawson Pre-K 8 school, that is on St. Croix, of course, and the Ola Muller Elementary School on St. Thomas will return to virtual school until otherwise advised by the Department of Education. The schools will subsequently be sanitized, and the department is now urging 6 staff to stay home until they are given the green light to return. Kamal, I think this is definitely a case, while troubling, definitely not far-fetched, as the world over, even in the region, we're seeing persons testing positive at the schools, and of course this forcing the institutions to close doors until they can fully contact trace and get a hold on the situation. But nevertheless, I think in speaking to a few students from the school, I would tell you that it has been a traumatizing experience for them. Luckily, health was able to step in fast enough and do their relative contact tracing, and we're trusting that nobody else was infected in this case.
Well, Javon, as you said, is a global issue in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic, obviously still very real in a lot of countries, especially with the new variants and new spikes, etc. Even in Barbados, they would have announced yesterday 17 cases of COVID-19 for persons 18 years and under. And we would see, in terms of the new variant, especially the new variant, etc., is mostly attacking a lot of the younger folks that are basically not vaccinated or not being able to vaccinate due to the whether it be countries that don't have the access to the Pfizer vaccine, or maybe they may be 12 and on them and cannot are basically not eligible to be vaccinated. So we basically see the vulnerable population in terms of the children heavily affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and I guess is a reason why the health authorities are urging those who can be vaccinated to basically go ahead and get the vaccination and basically protect their family and loved ones and friends and schoolmates as a result.
And Kamal, just yesterday in Grenada as well, a teen dying from COVID-19. One of the 4 persons who lost their lives to COVID-19 was actually a teen, and it's really a troubling situation. But just yesterday as well, we reported on the fact that Honorable Shireen Flax Charles, she's really concerned about our children not necessarily adhering to those protocols, and I think this situation really brings to light the importance of those kids complying with the health protocols.
Indeed. Well, viewers, moving on. Well, 2-time Diamond League champion Kyron McMaster copped a bronze medal in the just concluded Diamond League final in Zurich, Switzerland on Thursday. Running out of lane number 5, McMaster finished 3rd with a time of 48.24 seconds behind Olympic rivals Karsten Warholm and Alisson Dos Santos, who finished 1st and 2nd respectively. Well, Norway's Warholm, who is the Olympic champion and holds the world record in the event, won the race with a time of 47.35 seconds, while Brazil's Dos Santos, who placed 3rd in the just concluded Olympic finals, claimed silver in a time of 47.81 seconds. Well, this is McMaster's 2nd podium finish following the Olympic Games, as he previously finished 2nd in the Brussels Diamond League event on September 3rd, running a time of 48.31 seconds. Well, viewers, we here at 284 Media would like to send our congratulations to Mr. McMaster as he continues to strive and obviously make the BVI proud.
He is doing extremely well, and of course, a beautiful representation for these beautiful Virgin Islands. Of course, we want to continue to wish him all the best. It's not easy. It definitely requires a lot of sacrifice, grit, but he is definitely persevering, and we want to wish him all the best.
Especially to be as consistent as he has been,
Yes.
obviously finishing mostly in the top 4 within his last couple races. Well, viewers, still ahead, government signs $400,000 contract with telecoms company to have CCTV infrastructure restored, says cameras to increase crime detection in the BVI. And BVI ranked twice on Travel and Leisure's top 25 in the Caribbean list. We get to these stories when 284 News returns. Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, the government of the Virgin Islands has signed a contract valuing more than $400,000 with a local telecoms company to have the closed-circuit television surveillance infrastructure restored in the territory. Well, this is according to a media release from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force dated Friday, September 10th. Well, the release said that Premier Andrew Foy signed the contract on Thursday with Cable and Wireless BVI Limited to rebuild a backbone surveillance infrastructure destroyed during the hurricanes of 2017. Well, the contract's total value is $411,000 and will include the installation of a fiber network throughout the territory, of which work to the project is set to commence soon. Well, speaking during the ceremony, Premier Foy noted that while the project is very important to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force's crime detection efforts, it will also assist with detecting and deterring indiscriminate dumping of waste in and around the territory.
Improving the infrastructure of CCTV cameras is very important. Some would look at it just with helping with crime when they get up. But for me, it's a little extended beyond just crime. We have seen some other benefits in the past of having the cameras up and having them more in diverse areas, and having more of them is going to be a plus for us in many aspects, especially when we can have them to help to detour unwanted dumping of waste. I have seen that this continues to be a growing trend, and even in the constituency in the 1st District where I'm the representative, I've seen that we have cleaned up areas where there's huge garbage bins there for persons to dispose of, but yet they put stove, fridge, and they continue to do it no matter how many times we clean up. And one would say that if they could have drive the stove to that area, they could have carried all the way to the incinerator. But not only in the 1st District, but from District 1 to 9 in this territory, it seems to be a growing trend.
Well, Premier Foy said the CCTV initiative will also be a tremendous benefit for neighborhood watch groups, which will help to keep crime at a minimum in the territory.
Will also help us possible create linkages to neighborhood community watch programs. It's very important also because we see a lot of neighborhood watch programs, but these cameras will help to enhance persons' ability to help create an extra layer of protection or watch for the community, thereby reducing crime and reducing any other unwarranted behavior. So this initiative is going to help along those lines. We also could see to leverage these systems for any other benefits that government may deem necessary for the public good. because we know that we don't want abuse of the systems at the same time. So we want to make sure that whatever is within the public good, within the laws, that these cameras would help. Of course, the other areas we know already. It will help maintain public order and prevent unwanted behavior, as it will be an extra layer that would help to make sure that we prevent that, which is good for our economy. It helps create
But meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Mark Collins, during a recent interview with 284 Media, said the cameras will be strategically placed in a number of criminal hotspots across the territory.
In the process of rolling the cameras out, the poles are being put up, the fibre lines are being put in. We've contracted for the cameras to be put on the posts. That's all happening. There are a number going on Virgin Gorda. There are a number of other CCTV cameras as well that will all be linked into our force control room. It's work ongoing, Kamal, but the work is undergoing as we speak now. It's being rolled out across the territory.
And in terms of what are the objectives to be achieved through the installation of these cameras?
Well, the big thing, of course, is that CCTV cameras do prevent crime. They do deter crime. And we need to make sure the cameras are in the right place to make sure that the deterring of crime and the prevention of crime really does take place. So we've thought long and hard. We've looked at crime hotspots where crime is taking place to make sure we've got these cameras in the very best locations that they possibly can. They'll all go back to our force control room where we'll have a dedicated team of observers watching the cameras and detecting crime and directing officers and staff to those crime hotspots.
And in terms of our viewers, Commissioner Collins said that 5 auxiliary members of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force have already been trained to operate and manage these CCTV cameras once they are installed and fully operational.
All right, viewers, as we move on, travel and leisure readers love the Caribbean, the Bahamas, and the Bermuda, of course. And really, can you blame them? From the aquamarine seas to the verdant nature preserves, these islands are even the most seasoned for travelers. Now, the tried and true island destinations made a strong showing this year, with Bahamian Islands claiming 4 top spots on the list, the U.S. Virgin Islands ranking 3 times, and get this, our very own British Virgin Islands placing twice. We had Virgin Gorda ranking at 8th place, and we also had Dyke coming in at 15th. Now, this year's World's Best Awards survey was open for voting from January 11th through May 10th, 2021, as destinations around the world were lifting COVID-19 restrictions. Survey rules have always followed and allowed readers to reflect on their travel experiences over a 3-year period. Every year for the World's Best Awards survey, Travel Plus Leisure asks readers to really weigh in on their travel experiences around the globe, to share their opinions on the top cities, islands, cruise ships, spas, airlines, and so much more. Readers rated the islands according to their activities and sites, natural attractions and beaches, food, friendliness, and overall value. Kamal, while this might not seem significant to some, this is really a big win for the territory, especially considering the halt that COVID-19 resulted in. And when we talk about how we of course are referencing the tourism industry and travel, but it really reiterates and brings full circle the fact that the BVI still continues to stand out. It's still a robust, unmatched, and a very resilient product. And even though persons were not allowed in for most of last year, once we reopened our borders, this is a clear testimony that persons are still in love with what the BVI has to offer.
Well, indeed, the BVI obviously is still a beautiful place, pandemic or no pandemic, and this is not the first time that the BVI would have made this particular magazine list. We often see Jos Van Dyke and Virgin Gorda obviously making the list numerous times. We have seen in occasions Anegada as well making the list. And BVI has a lot to offer for those persons interested in coming and getting lost away in the Caribbean atmosphere. You know, obviously closer to the December time when is winter in most of the cold countries as well. So the BVI continues to show that they have a lot to offer. You know, obviously these magazines does a lot in terms of marketing. You know, so persons will be able to log in to these magazines and be able to say, you know what, let me book my flight for next summer to come to the BVI to explore all they have to offer.
And this is amazing. And I think one of the things that really worked for us over the last year as well is the fact that we have been marketed as a safe destination. Clearly, upon the advent of COVID-19, we had very stringent measures, but that yes, it came at a price, but definitely worked out for us in the long run as persons determined for themselves that BVI is a safe destination based on those low numbers of COVID-19.
Well, indeed. Well, viewers, up next, paying in person for the new online work permit application makes no sense, and plans to address payment process, says Minister Wheatley, and works begin on the Long Trench Johnson's Ghut Road project. We get to these stories when 284 News returns.
The wait is over. CCTV Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCTV Fiber network. CCTV Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Well, viewers, welcome back. Well, the minister responsible for labor and immigration, Vincent Wheatley, has said that the new online work permit payment system, which presently requires residents to pay in person, is flawed and makes no sense. Well, Minister Wheatley made the comments in a recent session of the House of Assembly following several criticisms raised from the general public on the system's payment requirement. Well, the new online work permit system was activated in late July 2021 and requires all persons seeking new work permits or renewals to submit all applications only online. Well, however, payments for all applications must be made in person at the Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Well, Minister Wheatley said that he too has been receiving several complaints from residents and agreed that having to pay in person for an online initiative is pointless. Well, he revealed the decision to move forward with the initiative prior to having all the systems online was one that was out of his control.
We have the work permits online. I get calls every day. We're walking through the kinks. The Speaker, one of the challenges I had with that, I said it from day one. I never saw the point of bringing the portal online unless you could pay online. And I've been harping on this for the longest while, but that part there is out of my hands. We need to get payments online. So when you go online and you upload your work permit, when it's processed, you pay online one time. But to upload a document and then walk in to pay, it makes no sense, Mr. Speaker. But these things take time, and I understand that. In the age of COVID, things sometimes don't go as smoothly as we would like.
Well, Minister Wheatley said his ministry will be working on shifting the payment process online, but reminded residents that the territory is still in a pandemic era, which affects the duration of getting initiatives accomplished in a timely manner.
We have to break out the old way of doing things and do things properly. Yes, they're inefficient, but don't forget we're in a COVID era. Things that could have taken 3 or 4 days to do, then taking 3 to 4 months now. What is the age we're in? As Mr. Speaker, we are here trying to pass all the legislations to move to the post-COVID era, where services are going online.
Well, viewers, the Department of Labor and Workforce Development continues to urge all employers and employees in the territory to get acquainted with the new online work permit system and warn that they will no longer be accepting hard copy applications. Well, the user manual for the online work permit system can be found on the government's webpage by clicking the banner that says Online Work Permit System User Manual. But this system can be accessed by inputting the following link into your web browser, which is https://services.gov.vg/. and persons needing assistance on how to use the system can email wportalhelp@gov.vg. Well, Javon, this here has been a very critical issue here in the territory in terms of persons who would have been trying to access this new online work permit system. One of the main complaints you would have seen on social media, especially in the Facebook community pages, is persons complaining that what is the whole point of an online initiative when you have to then go in person to pay in person? It doesn't make sense.
It's been an exhausting process, to say the very least, for a very long time. And this is something that I personally too can attest to. Persons who have to renew work permits, even renewal of exemptions and so on. When you think about the process, Kamal, it really takes literally days out of your week to not only line up at these various departments, but to get the requisite documents that are needed. And, you know, it's too timely. But I think with COVID-19 came the importance of doing business online. We understood that transition was important even prior to that, but even more with COVID-19 came the importance of having a cashless system in particular. And like the persons on social media are expressing, why do we have an e-system and boasting proudly about it if indeed we are not able to make payments online? It literally makes no sense, and it really compounds the issue because, you know, you're doing part of the issue online and then having to go in. I think that becomes useless. So I'm really hoping that, like the minister said, this is something that we could get rectified, because there are also persons who have been complaining to our news house about the fact that, you know, they've been submitting documents even virtually via the online system, and the persons on the inside of these departments not finding the documents, not being able to locate those critical pieces of information. So it's still not a foolproof system. I'm trusting that as time goes on, because we're still in the earlies, but I'm trusting, like the minister said, we can get that sorted.
One of the main concerns that I found in terms of the minister's statement was he was saying from the initial embryonic stage of this program, he was stating that was an issue that he found to be a grave concern to himself, and he was basically stating that he had no control in basically ceasing the program from being able to come out to the public. He's basically saying that it was out of his control, that I guess some other authority or power had the final say in launching the program. It basically seems as what he's saying. But I mean, as a minister responsible, I would assume that he would have been the person to be able to halt the program, at least till every single thing was in line, to bring it out one time to the public, fully functional, and basically with minimal issues or problems to having, obviously, then to rectify them.
Hopefully we can get that resolved soon. Viewers, as we begin to close out, the Ministry of Transportation, Works and Utilities, in collaboration with the Recovery and Development Agency, RDA, have commenced construction works on the Johnson's Ghut Road, and it is expected to last approximately 4 months. Now, this project is funded under the Caribbean Development Bank Reconstruction and Rehabilitation Loan. Contractors Atlan Heavy Equipment Co. Limited was awarded the contract and will construct 2 retaining wall structures, reestablish the pavement, stabilize slope, and erect guardrails. Now, the project area will be transformed into a single-lane roadway for the duration of the works. Motorists will be temporarily inconvenienced during the excavation works. Additionally, viewers, temporary road closures will be required during concrete pours, and the public will be advised when major traffic disruptions, that is, and road closures are scheduled, so that they can have adequate time to plan alternate routes. Now, project notification signs have been placed at the Ridge Road entrance, as well as at Lower Johnson's Ghut. During this period, motorists are advised to traverse this area with extreme caution, especially during the night, and follow directions given by traffic wardens. Persons are asked to stay tuned to media outlets and social media, in particular the Government of the Virgin Islands page, as well as RDA's Facebook and Instagram pages and websites for the latest traffic advisories. Any complaints about this project can be lodged with the RDA through its grievance redress system, that is the GRS system, at the RDA's website, that is BVI recovery.vg/GRS/information for more information as well. Kamal, really happy to see this project on the way. We have been calling for better roads, better infrastructure, especially post-Hurricanes Irma and Maria. And Honorable Kai Rima has definitely been on the ball. I remember when he came into office just a few months after really hitting the road running, one of the things a person said is he is the new action man. And we do recall Honorable Mark Vanterpool owning that name in the past. But yeah, definitely Honorable Kai Rima has been able to do a lot since he came into office, and I know persons are really refreshed by that and grateful.
Indeed, he has been doing a lot of the roads from west to east, Jost van Dyke, etc. So kudos to Minister Reimer. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us on our daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Javon Wilson. Happy weekend.